Example, given apples selling for $1.20 per quarter pound, let's simplify that to price per pound by multiplying by 4 over pounds, gives us $4.80 per pound, 4.8 divided by pound. Apricots are selling for $1.80 per quarter pound. Invert quarter pounding and multiply 1.8 times 4 divided by pound gives you 7.2, $7.20 per pound. And a mixture of the two together is $1.68 per quarter pound. Convert that to per pound by inverting pound divided by 4 and multiplying, you get $6.72 per pound. Find the amount of apples, which we'll call X, and the amount of apricots, which we'll call Y, mixed together to get a 20 pounds mixture that sells for the $1.68 per quarter pound. In other words, $6.72 per pound. Okay, to solve this problem, we're going to, step 1, choose the formula. Step 2, do a table. Step 3, think about what we're doing and come up with an answer. The formula we're going to use in step 1 is the value equals the cost times the amount. Step 2, we're going to create a table, and across the top of this table we're going to have our formula V equals C times A. So we have 3 columns. We also have 3 rows. First row is for the apples, second row is for the apricots, last row is for the mixture. Now let's fill in the table. Let's see, the amount of apples is what we call X. Let's leave the amount of apricots blank for a moment. We know it's Y, but we're going to put something else there. And 20 is the amount of the mixture. The cost per pound for the apples is 4.8. The cost per pound of apricots is 7.2. And for the mixture, it's 6.72. Now we'll have to do step 3. We have to think before we fill in that blank spot on the table. If we're going to fill this empty vat with 20 pounds of the mixture of the two, and all the contributions are coming from X pounds of apples and Y pounds of apricots, then when we put them together in the vat for the 20 pounds, it's going to be X plus Y. So if X plus Y is equal to 20, then Y is the same as 20 minus X, and that's what we put in that empty slot for the amount. And then we multiply them together to fill out the left column. 4.8 times X, 7.2 times 20 minus X, and 134.4 when you multiply 6.72 times 20. So we see from the table that the value of the apples plus the value of the apricots equals the value of the mixture. Well, the value of the apples is the V column. It's 4.8. 4.8 times X. Now, to that we're going to add the value of the apricots. 7.2 times 2 minus X equals the value of the mixture, 134.4. Just a comment about where we got this 20 minus X. It came from the fact that when you add the X plus the Y and pour it into the vat, it equals 20. So if you solve that little equation for Y, you get Y is equal to 20 minus X. That's where that came from. Okay, let's get rid of the decimals by moving them all one move to the right. And that's the same as multiplying both sides of the equation by 10. We get 48 times X plus 72 times parenthesis 20 minus X equals 1,344. Let's distribute multiplication by 72 to get rid of the parentheses. We get 48x plus 1440 plus 72x plus 1334. Combine the x's together and we get negative 24x plus the 1440 equals the 1344. Isolate the x term by subtracting 1440 from both sides, and that leaves negative 24x on the left equals negative 96 on the right. Now divide both sides by the negative 24 to get x by itself, and we get x equals a negative over a negative is a positive, and it's 4. Then, since we know y is equal to 20 minus x, it means that y is equal to 20 minus 4, which means y is equal to 16. Thus we have 4 pounds of apples and 16 pounds of apricots.